Good morning, beautiful souls, and welcome to another Wisdom Wednesday. So I'm sitting today in front of this amazing tree. There's 4 major trunks here. I love sitting with this tree. There's such a sense of energy. There's so much strong energy coming from it. And I love the fact that it has branched off into 4 major trunks. It's expanding itself, and there's a courage in that. And that's one of the things that I really wanted to talk about today, was this inner flow of courage that we have within us. I think a lot of times it's easy to forget that courage isn't necessarily the bravery of running into a burning building, or the bravery of leaping off a cliff, or the bravery of taking a big leap in a career or in one's life. But often courage, and that inner courage that we can tap into, is really about the small things. So this tree has taken a huge courageous leap, right? These 4 large trunks expanding outward, going in 4 directions. And they all serve a purpose. They broadened the reach of the tree so it could get more sunlight and more rain. And so it, as a whole, it could expand. And I think about the inner flow of courage that we have inside each of us in much the same way. I think it's very easy in this day and age, especially with everything that's going on, to feel like there's a certain way we have to show up. There are certain lines we have to stay within, certain ideas that we have to play within. There's a way that we're supposed to show up, we're supposed to look, we're supposed to talk. There are topics we're supposed to mention or not mention, or feelings that we're supposed to acknowledge or not acknowledge. And I think it's very easy to think about the word and the idea of courage as being these big, expansive actions, when there's a deeper sense of internal courage, which means showing up for ourselves just the way we are every day. And tapping into that internal flow of courage really has a lot to do with accepting who we are, how we are in any given moment. And accepting who we are deeply. Right? So not pretending, not feeling like we need to change who we are or how we show up in the world. Oftentimes, I think it's very easy to get pulled in different directions and feel as though we have to show up a certain way, or have to become something other than who we really are, because it can feel uncomfortable trying to show up the way we actually are. It's funny, as I'm sitting here, just past the camera on the left-hand side, there are these beautiful hummingbirds, and they're drinking from the flowers that are in front of me, and they're just being themselves. It's a great opportunity to watch them, dancing in the air the way they fly, and going from plant to plant, flower head to flower head. And as a reminder that they simply are. They do what they do, and they go about their business, and they're not so concerned with, how am I showing up? Is this the right flower? Is this the kind of flower I'm supposed to be working with? Or is this the right height from the ground that I'm supposed to be flying? Or is this the way I'm supposed to be flying? And to extrapolate that idea into how we show up for ourselves in the world. So tapping into that inner courage to show up as who we are, whether that's weird and wacky and magical, whether that is a wisdom worker, whether that is a corporate CEO, or a babysitter, or a parent, or a student. There are so many ways, there are so many labels that we place upon ourselves, and I think often placing those labels really limits who we are willing to show up as. So what would happen today if just for a day or two, every time a label came up that you wanted to apply to yourself or thought applied to you, what would happen if you simply put that to the side and you said, today I'm going to see who I show up as without any labels. And notice, like this tree behind me, what kind of expansion does that allow for you? Who does that allow you to be that is much more in tune with the courageous flow that is within you? When we show up without the labels, labels of woman, white, Western, teacher, yogi, writer, musician, artist, life coach, career coach, naturist, naturalist, hiker, backpacker, adventurer, business owner. When we show up without all those labels, what is possible for you? Who are you allowing yourself to be, and who are you allowing yourself to expand into by tapping into that courageous flow within you, setting aside all the labels, and starting to notice who are you deep within your heart when you step into that courageous flow more internally. So when you let yourself live in that flow of courage that I know is within you. Check it out, give it a try for a couple days, see what happens, notice what changes in your life. I'm Amrita Rose. This is An Unstoppable Life. If you've liked this, please hit the like button, save it, share it, and keep your eyes peeled to this space for more wisdom and mudras.